We have a viewer who wants to talk about the invasive species angle. Representative Hackbarth, we'll start with you because we discussed this a couple of weeks ago. This viewer's takes on this a little different, and why this viewer wants to know why the state can't penalize those responsible for bringing in invasive species, companies and countries coming into the ports on Lake Superior. That's an interesting angle, but invasive species more generally, what's going to happen this session? We'll start with you.
Well, and the viewer is correct that a lot of these, like the zebra mussels came in through the port of Duluth, most likely in ships, and that's where that came from, and it spread that way. And the viewer is right. We should be penalizing people that get caught with these things, and that's true. But I think what the viewer is really talking about, and I think what the general public is concerned about, is the law that passed in 2012, which is the Aquatic Invasive Species Sticker and Education Program that was passed in 2012. And I think a lot of people are upset about needing to take this course online. There's a number of different issues with it. I believe it's a $5 fee to take the education course, and then they mail you a sticker to put on your trailer. Some of the problems with that is if you live in Iowa, for example, and you're going to go fish in Canada, you have to have this course and have this sticker on your trailer as you move through the state of Minnesota. I think that's wrong because the people in Iowa really don't even know that Minnesotans need to have this sticker on their trailer. Another issue is not everyone's going to have to take the course. I own a boat, I own a trailer, but I've got 3 kids that might want to use my boat and trailer. They don't have to take the course. They don't get the education course, and they don't have to get a sticker or pay for it. There's really no consequences to them. So they don't get the understanding that the education where they're supposed to look for zebra mussels, look for Eurasian water milfoil on the boat. It doesn't benefit them in any way. There's a number of different issues that are wrong with this whole program. The DNR didn't think it out well enough. The $5 fee, I think everybody thinks that that's another fee that's going to go to the DNR. That $5 fee does not go to the DNR at all. It goes to the vendor that they hired to put the education program together, and then you go online, you take the course, you pay the $5, the vendor gets all the money. And the people think that, you know, I'm tired of paying the DNR all this money. Well, the DNR doesn't get any of that money. It goes directly to the vendor, and it's ongoing. The vendor puts a package together, and he gets paid forever. Every time that anybody buys a trailer and they have to take that course, he gets $5. The DNR gets nothing. So this vendor is going to become a millionaire from that, and there's all kinds of problems. This first developed in 2011. And the DNR put a similar package together where they had a sticker that you had to put on your boat. And there was a number of problems with that. And the DNR came in 2012 and said, oh, we got to get rid of that sticker program. This is the new sticker program. This is the one that will work. So we repealed the 2011 law. We put the 2012 law in place, and we don't make that effective until July of 2015 in order to work out the bugs. Well, here we are, almost July of 2015, and we didn't work out the bugs. And now we're finding out all the bugs that it has. And it's a real problem. There's some question as to whether the DNR had the authority to let this vendor collect the $5 from residents. There's a lot of people that don't have computers. There's a lot of places where people don't have broadband or cable or any way to be on the internet in the first place that own trailers. There's a lot of different problems with this law that was passed, and we need to repeal it. And it should be gotten rid of and come up with some other idea. Now, I also want to let folks know that they're already paying $5 when they buy their boat license for aquatic invasive species, and that goes into a special account to address the very issues that we're talking about. So they're already getting $5. That's going to the DNR. They do education programs with that. They put up signs at boat accesses, etc. They put information in your hunting and fishing regulations. All of those things are in place. Can we do more? Probably, yes. But we're already getting that money from the boat licenses, and we should just get rid of this law, and I think that's what the people want to see.
Senator Sachs on invasive species.
Yeah. First of all, in answer to the question that was asked originally, we really whack somebody who is caught with AIS. I mean, if you find a zebra mussel in your live well, you're up for $500 fine. We aren't fooling around with that. This is about education. And the education, the 2011 bill is passed as an education bill. I think it's been reasonable in that it has dealt with education, but there's a bill in the Senate right now. In fact, I'm the author that does a couple of things and addresses a number of the things that Tom's talking about. First of all, the person going from Iowa to Canada, assuming he doesn't back his boat into a lake, he just buys bait and eats and stuff like that, will never be checked. And the checking for the decal can only be done at the landing. Decals are free, and they won't go into effect until 1/17. There will, if you don't have a decal, which you need to go online, and then a free decal will be sent to you. It is a $21 civil penalty. So that bill will be working its way and over to the House, and we're assuming that we can come to some conclusion on that. Otherwise, we'll be back at the 2011 bill.
Representative Lean, your thoughts on invasive species stuff?
Well, I don't sit on any committees that have jurisdiction over natural resources, invasive species, but I certainly understand the importance of this issue. I mean, in my opinion, it's not just about, I don't know, the pristineness of our lakes and waterways and, for that matter, other sorts of invasive species. But it's also about economic development, making sure that our lakes stay clean so that a lot of these resorts and, I know Ballard's up on Rainy River, making sure that folks want to go to these resorts still. You talk around Aiken, Crow Wing County, a lot of the resorts. And so I think it's really, about the education, and I think too, we need to be working with our local partners on this matter, whether that be the counties, whether that be the lake associations. I've sat down with a couple lake associations in my part of the state. They're, a little further east, Detroit Lakes, but, talking, they have the willingness. They want to be doing some of these things. They want to be seeing the decontamination sites at the public access sites, And we did fund, I believe it was $10 million per year in the 2014 tax bill to kind of give the counties that have a lot of lakes, have these waterways, a little more resources to be able to combat the aquatic invasive species. So, it's something that we absolutely do need to be very diligent about. And, I guess I would just like to see those continued efforts working more with the local partners.